is Andrea Fernandez Santillán, and what I decided to do for my EP and my final project for my master's was to use different techniques and place them into experimental pop music, which is mainly defying pop, the main structure of just doing verse, chorus, verse, and using common instruments. So it's kind of defying these rules that pop has and getting away from the mainstream. So what I decided to do is using techniques from sound design and concrete music. Fly, 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 fly. It's good vibes. The first thing I decided to do is to create a sound library. So I took this field recorder. I recorded, for example, the drying machine, oil, knives, water, a bike, the fence, and even lettuce. Some sound effects for movies are done this way, and also in a special room where you can interact with different materials. So part of these audios went into beat making. For example, the bike created a squishy sound, so I grabbed a little sample of the squish sound and then I would place it in my plugin, and I could actually play it to create a beat. I created this whole library of sounds that I could then explore and utilize in all my tracks. Other parts of the library were used to create environment and ambient sounds. So this was mainly by making concrete techniques. I used these programs which you can add different effects. You can manipulate the audio in different ways, slow it down, make it faster. So if you slow it down, it actually
gives it a slow sense of more atmospheric sound.
Concrete music makes actually these textures that may be similar and have been used for horror films or science fiction films. So if you listen to it, you might say like, oh, it sounds like a horror film. Then finally, the last use I gave to these sounds were sampling them and pitching them up or down, so I could actually just put the sound in my keyboard. Actually, the main bass sound in my tracks are made with a vocal sample. I pitched it down and it became the main bass sound.
Cause lo que quieres de mí, cause lo que quieres de mí, oh no.
Ongoing process with the composition side also, because I had to place the sounds in a way that they worked, place the ambiences. So this at times defined the tune of the track. I actually had to write the songs while I was producing them. So for example, this happened to me. I just grabbed one of the samples and I replicated, I copy and pasted the same sample several times. And then I could even notice a kind of melody forming in that. So I decided to make it the main motif for the track. After having all this mixture of sound effects with instrument, I recorded the vocals for the tracks. So the lyrics are actually still talking about main themes that people could relate to. For example, I talk about even 1 year in lockdown, which refers to COVID situation. This keeps the tracks in a pop culture where people can relate to, and it makes it a bit more mainstream. So after all this process, the result was experimental pop tracks that are characterized by their sounds and atmospheres, which is what I was aiming for. I think This is something I would like to explore more. I think these sounds and techniques could actually be used for something more mainstream, because creating your own library of sounds gives you a unique personality to your music. It actually makes it really hard for someone to replicate what you've done. So I will definitely keep exploring these ideas.